10 local Chrysler car dealerships are among the nearly 800 dealerships nationally being shut down by Chrysler.
One of those 10 local dealerships losing the Chrysler franchise.
Right now, there are 25 unsold car truths that dealers are desperate to hide from you. And today, I am exposing all of them. Over 3 million brand new vehicles are sitting on dealer lots across America. That is $150 billion worth of cars and SUVs just gathering dust. And here is what makes this insane. Some models have over 82% of their entire inventory still unsold from last year. The Dodge Hornet? More than 8 out of every 10 built for 2024 are still sitting there. The Jeep Grand Cherokee at $64,000? Nearly 71% unsold. These 15 models are literally killing dealerships, bleeding them dry every single day they sit there. But here is where it gets interesting. Hidden inside this chaos are 10 models that are pure gold for buyers. Vehicles where dealers are so desperate, they will take deals that would have been impossible just 2 years ago. The problem? Dealers will never tell you which cars are which. They will never reveal which ones are costing them thousands in interest every month. And they definitely will not tell you how to use that information against them. So how do you tell the difference between a financial disaster and the deal of a lifetime? Before I reveal the models, you need to understand why these cars are sitting there in the first place. And it starts with a dirty secret most buyers have never heard of. Here is something that will change how you see every dealership. Car dealerships do not actually own the vehicles on their lots, not in the way you think. They use something called floor plan financing. It is basically a massive revolving line of credit from banks or from the manufacturer itself. The dealer borrows money to buy each vehicle, and the lender holds the title until that car sells. For the first 60 to 90 days, interest rates are usually low, sometimes even zero. Sounds like a pretty good deal, right? Here is the problem. The moment that grace period ends, the interest starts compounding. And we are talking rates that can absolutely crush a dealership's margins. According to industry data, a 1% increase in floor plan rates can cost major dealer groups millions of dollars every single year. Floor plan spending for public dealer groups jumped from $126 million in 2021 to over $363 million less than 2 years later. That is not a typo. Interest costs nearly tripled. So when a brand new SUV arrives at the dealership, the clock is already ticking. The goal is simple: sell it within 90 days or start bleeding money. Every single day that vehicle sits unsold, it is costing the dealer real cash. We are talking floor plan interest, insurance, lot maintenance, and depreciation, all stacking up at once. This is the pressure cooker that drives everything you are about to see. This desperation is why dealers will do things that seem crazy to move inventory. And it explains why certain models become absolute nightmares, while others turn into golden opportunities. Now that you understand why dealers are desperate, let me show you exactly which vehicles are causing the most pain. These are the 15 models bleeding dealerships dry, and the numbers are absolutely brutal. Let me start with the models causing the most damage. And one automaker dominates this disaster list so completely, it is almost hard to believe. Stellantis products own the unsold inventory rankings. We are talking 12 of the 23 models with the highest leftover rates, all coming from their brands. This is not random bad luck. This reveals systemic problems that should make any buyer pause. Let us start with the worst offender. The Dodge Hornet plug-in hybrid has 82.1% of its entire 2024 inventory still unsold. That is not a typo. More than 8 out of every 10 Hornets built for 2024 are still sitting at dealerships right now. Think about that. For every 10 vehicles they manufactured, only 2 found buyers. Next up is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. This one sits at 70.8% of 2024 models, still waiting for buyers. At an average price of $64,014, that is an enormous amount of capital just frozen on dealer lots across the country. Alfa Romeo Tonale Hybrid is holding at 46.8% remaining inventory. Luxury pricing meets economy-level demand. Not a good combination. Then there is the Jeep Grand Wagoneer L. With an average price of $92,497, this flagship SUV has 24.1% of its 2024 inventory still unsold. That is nearly a quarter of all $90,000 plus SUVs they built last year just sitting there. Here is what makes these numbers truly shocking. The industry average for remaining 2024 inventory is just 0.4%, less than 0.5%. These problem vehicles have 100 to 200 times more unsold stock than normal. Put it another way, for every 1,000 normal vehicles produced, about 4 remain unsold at this point. For these models, we are looking at 200 to 800 vehicles still waiting for buyers out of every 1,000 built. Every single one of those vehicles is costing dealers money every day they sit there. But the list gets even more surprising when you see which other brands are struggling alongside Stellantis. You might think luxury brands would be immune to this problem. Higher margins, wealthier buyers, more flexibility on pricing. But you would be wrong. High price tags do not guarantee sales. In fact, some of the most expensive vehicles on the market are among the worst performers. When you are asking buyers to spend $60,000, $70,000, or $90,000 on a vehicle, they become incredibly selective. One bad review, one reliability concern, one better alternative from a competitor. That is all it takes to kill a sale. Electric vehicles are sitting in particularly rough shape. Range anxiety, charging infrastructure concerns, and plummeting resale values have spooked buyers. Remember what happened with Hertz? They bought tens of thousands of EVs for their rental fleet. When resale values collapsed, they panicked and dumped them at fire sale prices. That sent a clear message to consumers. Maybe wait on that EV purchase. Models with publicized reliability issues are also struggling badly. Word travels fast now. One viral video showing a major defect can tank demand overnight. Buyers do their research, and manufacturers cannot hide problems like they used to. Here is the current state of the market. There are 85,000 brand new 2024 models still sitting unsold as we approach the end of 2025. That is up from 50,000 leftover 2023 models at the same time last year. The problem is getting worse, not better. Even more shocking, there are still 8,000 new 2023 models unsold as of late 2025. These vehicles are technically 2 years old in the eyes of buyers, yet dealers are still trying to move them as new inventory. So what connects all 15 of these struggling models? 3 things. Pricing that does not match what buyers are willing to pay. Brand trust that has completely collapsed for certain manufacturers. And better alternatives available from competitors who actually listened to consumers. Reliability problems destroy buyer confidence faster than any discount can repair it. Now, if you are thinking about buying a car in 2026, I have put together a free guide that goes even deeper. It is called Avoid These 17 Cars. In 2026, and it covers models I could not fit into this video. Link is in the description. Download it before your next dealership visit. Trust me. Now let me show you what dealers actually do when these vehicles will not sell. This is where things get creative and a little sketchy. When that 90-day window comes and goes with no buyer in sight, the first strategy is obvious: slash the price. Managers roll out discounts, rebates, promotional financing, and cashback offers all stacked together. We are talking $5,000, $10,000, sometimes $15,000 or more off the sticker price. Sounds like a win for buyers, right? Sure, but here is what you need to know. If you are looking at a leftover 2024 model in late 2025, you should be negotiating at least 15 to 20% off MSRP. That is just to offset the immediate depreciation hit you will take the moment you drive off the lot. On a $65,000 SUV, you should be walking away with at least $10,000 to $13,000 in savings. Anything less, and you are basically subsidizing the dealer's bad inventory decisions. When discounts alone are not enough, dealers pull out their next trick. They convert slow-selling vehicles into service loaners or demo vehicles. Customers who bring their cars in for repairs get these as temporary transportation. Sales staff drive them for personal use. The miles slowly accumulate. Why do they do this? 2 reasons. First, manufacturers actually pay dealers a monthly reimbursement for putting vehicles into loaner programs. That helps offset the floor plan interest bleeding out every month. Second, once the vehicle has a few thousand miles on it, the dealer can reclassify it as a nearly new used vehicle. Bigger discount, less desperate appearance. But here is where it gets sketchy. Some dealers will not clearly disclose that a vehicle was used as a demo or loaner. They list it as new without mentioning the previous use. One dealership insider showed footage of a Ford Bronco Sport Heritage Edition that a customer destroyed while using it as a loaner. Cigarette burns, stains, damage everywhere. That vehicle is now someone's new SUV at a discounted price. You just will not know its full history unless you dig. If discounts and loaner programs do not work, dealers start playing musical chairs with their inventory. They call it a dealer trade. The concept is simple. A 4-wheel drive SUV gathering dust in Miami might be a hot commodity in Denver. A convertible that will not sell in Minnesota could fly off the lot in Southern California. Dealers within the same brand network trade slow-moving inventory, hoping a different market solves their problem. But here is what they do not tell you. Every time that SUV gets shuffled to another dealer, it adds transport costs, handling fees, and additional wear. That vehicle might have been loaded onto a truck 3 different times before it lands in front of you. The odometer might show 47 miles, but that number does not capture the loading, unloading, and parking lot shuffling that happens during dealer trades. When trading fails, dealerships turn to the auction block. And this is where real financial pain begins. The moment a brand new vehicle crosses that auction block, it is immediately reclassified as pre-owned. A 2024 SUV with 12 miles that has never been titled becomes a used car the second the gavel falls. Vehicles at auction typically sell 30 to 40% below retail. That $65,000 SUV might fetch $38,000. After fees, the dealer is looking at a $20,000 loss on a single vehicle. Some manufacturers try fleet sales instead. Rental companies like Enterprise and Hertz buy slow-moving inventory at wholesale rates, gets the vehicles off the books quickly. But when those rentals cycle out later, they flood the used market and crush resale values for everyone who paid full price. Then there is the graveyard. The darkest stage manufacturers do not want you knowing about. Vehicles that cannot sell through any channel end up in massive storage lots. Abandoned airfields, industrial parks, car cemeteries where vehicles sit exposed to the elements. Tires develop flat spots. Batteries die. Seals dry out. Rust creeps in. Some 2023 models are still sitting with plastic wrap into 2025. Never owned. Age 2 full model years. Everything I have just told you sounds like terrible news. Dealerships bleeding money, vehicles rotting in graveyards, an industry in chaos. But here is where it gets interesting for smart buyers, because chaos creates opportunity. Those 3 million unsold vehicles sitting on American lots right now represent something powerful. Unprecedented negotiating leverage. The key is knowing exactly which models to target. Let me show you the 10 vehicles that are pure gold for buyers right now. First, leftover model years are your best friend. There are 85,000 brand new 2024 models available at steep discounts, and 8,000 brand new 2023 models at even steeper discounts. These are factory fresh vehicles with 0 miles, just old model years, same engineering, same features, massive savings. Leftover Jeep models are prime targets right now. With inventory sitting at catastrophic levels, dealers will take deals they never would have considered 2 years ago. Same vehicle you wanted, thousands less out of your pocket. Dealer desperate to clear that floor plan interest. Previous year luxury SUVs are another gold mine. When a dealer is bleeding money every single day on a $90,000 vehicle, they become very motivated. Negotiate 20% or more off with patience and the willingness to walk away. Slow-selling EVs with manufacturer incentives let you double dip. Stack the dealer's desperation discount on top of federal tax credits. That combination can knock $15,000 or more off your final price. Demo and loaner vehicles with full disclosure offer the best of both worlds. Slight miles but massive discounts. And they often still include the full manufacturer warranty. The key is verifying that history and getting everything in writing. Dealer trade arrivals are surprisingly good opportunities. These vehicles just landed on the lot. The dealer paid transport costs to get them there. They want to recoup that investment quickly before the floor plan clock starts ticking again. Here is the pattern. Any vehicle that has been sitting over 90 days is leverage in your hands. Dealers need these gone before year end. And that desperation is your advantage. Now let me give you the exact playbook to turn this knowledge into real savings. Vehicles from brands with excess inventory beyond Stellantis are also worth targeting. When an entire brand is struggling to move units, individual dealers feel that pressure intensely. Models being discontinued offer similar leverage. Manufacturers want those gone before the new generation arrives. Previous generation vehicles right before a redesign sit in a sweet spot. Dealers know buyers want the new version. That makes the outgoing model suddenly negotiable in ways it never was before. Fleet return vehicles with documented history can be excellent value. Yes, rental cars get driven hard, but they also get maintained on strict schedules. Full service records and lower prices make these worth considering. Now here is the rule that should guide every negotiation. On any leftover model, your baseline is 15 to 20% off MSRP. That is not your goal. That is your starting point. On a $65,000 SUV, do not accept less than $10,000 to $13,000 off. That just offsets immediate depreciation. Push for more. These questions will give you power at the dealership. How many days has this vehicle been on your lot? Was this ever used as a demo or loaner? Has this vehicle been dealer traded from another location? Anything over 90 days means leverage shifts to you. Timing matters enormously. End of month means sales quotas create pressure. End of quarter creates even more pressure. End of year with leftover model years gives you maximum leverage. Stack these timing advantages whenever possible. With 3 million unsold vehicles on the market, you have options. Dealers know this. Your willingness to walk away is your single strongest negotiating tool. The dealer needs this sale more than you need this specific vehicle. Never forget that. Finally, documentation protects you. Always get a vehicle history report. Request service records for any miles showing on the odometer. Get loaner or demo disclosure in writing before signing anything. Knowledge is leverage, and now you have both. Here is what you need to understand about everything I have just shown you. The automotive industry is built on one core assumption: everything sells eventually. Manufacturers keep building, dealers keep ordering, floor plan lenders keep financing. The whole system runs on the belief that demand will always catch up to supply. But that assumption is breaking down right in front of us. When consumer demand shifts, when prices climb too high, when reliability problems destroy buyer confidence, the entire machine starts grinding to a halt. Those 3 million unsold vehicles sitting on American lots right now are not just a statistic. They represent a massive financial burden that dealers cannot sustain forever. Prices are near record highs. Interest rates have squeezed both dealer financing and consumer loans at the same time. Certain brands have absolutely cratered in consumer trust. The result is a growing mountain of vehicles that nobody wants at any price dealers are currently asking. You can only shuffle inventory between lots for so long. You can only convert so many vehicles to loaners and demos. You can only dump so many units at auction before the losses become catastrophic. The reckoning is coming for dealerships and manufacturers who refuse to listen to what buyers actually wanted. But here is the flip side. For savvy buyers, this chaos creates opportunity that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. If you are flexible about model year, you have leverage. If you understand floor plan financing, you have leverage. If you know which models are bleeding dealers dry, you have leverage. If you are willing to negotiate aggressively and walk away when the deal is not right, you have more power than buyers have had in decades. Those 15 models killing dealerships are vehicles to approach with extreme caution or avoid entirely. Brand problems and reliability issues do not disappear just because you got a discount. Those 10 models that are pure gold represent real opportunities to save thousands while still getting a quality vehicle. The key is doing your homework before you ever set foot on a dealer lot. Knowledge changes everything in this market. The dealers have information advantages they have used against buyers for decades. Now, you have information too. Use it. Do not forget to download my free guide, Avoid These 17 Cars in 2026. It covers even more models that could cost you thousands in depreciation, repairs, and regret. The link is in the description below. Grab it before your next dealership visit. It could save you from a very expensive mistake. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We are covering the biggest stories in the automotive industry. The stories dealerships do not want you to know. The information that shifts power back to buyers where it belongs. The car market is changing fast. Make sure you are on the right side of that change. See you in the next one.